Yo, 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 yo.
What up, though? What up, though? What up, though?
It's your girl, Jasmine.
And your boy, Matt.
And we are the
Millennial Tempo. Yep.
What's up, guys? What's up?
Back for episode number 4.
Yep, we're back.
Hey, what's up, people? How y'all feeling?
Let me tell y'all how I'm feeling.
Ugh.
Y'all, I didn't even go to work today. I started feeling bad about 2-3 days ago. It's kind of been since last week. It started off with like a cold. I think I told y'all last episode that I had a cold and I wasn't feeling well.
Yeah.
Over the week, I just thought it was a regular old cold, so I just took NyQuil, took Dayquil, and took my medicine. Was fine. So the coughing, the sore throat, all of that left. But then later on this week, I started to where I was feeling lots and lots of pressure, like in my nose and my face.
My baby's sick.
My eyes. Yeah, I feel like crap. So I went on and took off today and went to the urgent care because I just couldn't take it no more. When I was at work on Thursday, like I was literally at my desk, slumped over with my head down. The internet had went down at work.
Down bad out there.
Yeah, I was just like, you know what? I don't even care because I could have improvised and tried to, still get my work done without the internet like everybody else was doing. But it had me in a bad mood where I didn't even care. I laid my head down until the internet came back on.
But why not? Internet off.
Yeah,
Sure.
but everybody else improvised and got their stuff done. I ain't even care. Like, people was using their phones and stuff because, like...
Folks was using their phone to look up information?
Yeah, because
really? You
have to use for... if y'all don't know, I am a pretrial service officer. And
whoop, whoop, whoop.
Anybody who gets arrested in the city of D.C., they get arrested and they see a judge within 24 hours. So... Excuse me, guys. Oh, yeah, I'm so sorry.
That's new.
So sorry. So they see a judge within 24 hours, and we interview them, and we do a report. And in that report, we have to include their criminal history. So if they have any type of criminal history, any type of charges outside of DC, we have to go to the different cities and states and look up their disposition information, their court date information, if they're on probation or parole from those previous charges. So
y'all career criminals out there, y'all making it hard on my baby. Y'all making her have to work hard because she having to look up all y'all records from state to state to state. Everything that y'all done did in y'all whole entire life. Yeah. So knock it off.
Yeah. So we have to go in and we have to print up their entire, it's called like a NCIC report, like an FBI report. And it has every time you've been fingerprinted, that goes on your FBI report. And we have to go through it and we have to put it in our system with the charge description, and the disposition from it. So if we have, most of the time the disposition is on the FBI report, but a lot of times it's not.
Yeah.
So we have to go to each city, state, and go on their like local websites or whatever and find that information. So people,
a lot of work.
Yeah. It can get tedious and it can become a lot of work. But people was just using their phones and stuff. People was like getting other things done while they waited on the internet to work, and I just was like...
So a lot of these things that y'all have to do, these processes don't require particular websites that y'all have to log on to? Like,
yeah, but...
you can use just public information to find this stuff? Or
for the most, some stuff is public information. Like I said, like the charges and stuff, all of that's public information. If you go to jail, I could search up pretty much anybody. As long as I know your name, your birth date, and the city and state where you was charged at, most times you can go online and find that information.
So what if you don't know the city and state though?
Then
is there a system that y'all have that'll pull just by my name, date of birth, or social?
Yeah, the FBI file.
Okay.
But that's you have to
have internet?
go through class. No, we didn't have to have the internet for me to do my criminal checks.
Yeah.
I didn't need the internet. The site that we use, or the system that we use, I guess doesn't require internet. I'm not sure.
Okay,
but,
so it's a local type system.
Yeah, so I could have
database.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So I could have improvised and use my time wisely and
but
did other
things.
Bad, but I felt so sick.
You should have went home.
I should have, but
it's okay though. You know what I'm saying? They got a good worker out of you.
Yeah,
you're a team player, so.
And because the thing is if I get assigned some cases, on average, let's say, okay, let me just give you a quick synopsis of how it goes. We might have about, let's say, 80 people on a lockup list for that day, for a particular day. For yesterday, we had 80 people on a lockup list. Out of those 80 people on the lockup list, it's probably about maybe 25 people in the office for the day. Mm-hmm. Out of those 25, they divide up the cases according to the type of charges. They divide up the cases. So everybody might have 4 cases apiece. Mm-hmm. So if I was to have left yesterday, those 4 cases would have had to be divided up among my other staff members who, already done figured out what their day-to-day is, and here I come with some cases. So my goal yesterday was to get my cases done and then go home. But
right. Because you don't want to leave your workload on nobody else.
Because that's what's going to happen. It's not like a lot of other jobs where, okay, I don't feel good, I leave. Oh, don't worry about it. I can come back and do it on the next day that I work. My job isn't like that.
It got to get done the same
It has to get done. Like, my workload changes every single day. Every day, my job is different. Every day. Some days I might have 1 case. Some days I might have 4 cases. Some days I might have 10 cases. So every day, and then once I'm done for the day, I don't see nothing about that no more. Nothing about that defended. The case goes on to a different staff member within my agency. So yeah, it's been a pretty rough week as far as how I've been feeling. But other than that, I guess the week was good. We meal prepped this week and it went well. I had a really good recipe that we used, so that was good.
Yeah, the meal prep was good. Ate good all week. We started the week off well with some good food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know what I mean? So we're going to keep that same consistency because health is wealth. Mm-hmm. So if you ain't consciously thinking about your health, make sure you start doing it because you got to have that longevity. You got to be able to raise them babies. You know what I mean? So if you ain't thinking about your health and thinking about what you putting in your body, please start doing that. We got to have more of that. You know what I mean? And for real though, like our generation though, as millennials, I will say that people are a little bit, at least from what I'm noticing, is people seem to be a little bit more conscious in what they putting in their bodies. You know what I mean? You got a lot of people that's vegans. You got a lot of people that's, not eating pork. You got a lot of people that's real peculiar. They shopping at Whole Foods and they doing the organic, this, that, and the third. So I think our generation doing a good job with that.
Yeah, we are. We're realizing that we gotta worry about what we put in our body. Yeah. The difference is we ain't got it all the way figured out. We the ones over here struggling. We be everybody around us seem like they are on it, and for some reason just can't get it together. But we're gonna get it together. It's all good. For
sure. So I spent the weekend in Charlotte this weekend. I went to Charlotte for a real estate seminar.
Last weekend.
Last weekend. Last weekend I spent threw me off. I spent the weekend in Charlotte. I went to a real estate seminar. DJ Envy and his partner Flippin' New Jersey puts on a real estate seminar, up and down the coast, and then they stretch out to the west side as well. But their whole purpose really is just to kind of introduce people into investing, into real estate, really, because that's what they do. Like I told y'all earlier, we told y'all earlier in the podcast, we kind of got inspired from this podcast from DJ Envy and his wife Gia. So I kind of been following them a little bit, and they offering this real estate seminar, which is really good. So I felt like it was important for me just to give you all, the listeners, a quick synopsis of what I got out of the seminar. I mean, I'm not gonna give you all, in-depth detail. If you want, y'all can hit the email up or inbox me, and I can forward y'all my notes. But I'm just gonna give y'all just a little bit of what I got from it. So the first thing that they really discussed was credit. That might sound simple to some of y'all, but a lot of people don't know about credit. You want to make sure that your credit is good. Some people don't grow up understanding the value of credit, and they think that spending cash is just the thing to do. And if you don't got the cash, then you don't need to have it, which in some cases is true. But
in a lot of cases, that's true.
In a lot of cases, it's true. But in a lot of cases, though, when you're talking about spending upwards of $400,000, $500,000, you know what I'm saying? Using your credit to actually purchase these investment properties is the way that you're gonna really make your money. Especially for the average person who is not a multimillionaire. You don't want to just go out and start spending $500,000-$600,000 cash on a property yourself just to flip, when you can use somebody else's money to actually profit from that. So you want to make sure that your credit is right. You know what I mean? There's a reference called the Fair Credit Reporting Act that you can reference, and it'll kind of break down everything about credit and all the components of credit. There's 5 components. You can look those up at the Fair Credit Reporting Act. All right. One resource, if you have things that's on your credit that you feel aren't necessarily supposed to be there, you can actually call the people who put that on your credit, and if it's unfairly unjust and they're giving you a problem with it, threaten them with the Better Business Bureau. It might not actually work, but a lot of people, especially businesses, they're actually afraid of the Better Business Bureau. And if you report them for putting something on your credit that's unjust, then it's possible that they'll actually make something happen. So I'm gonna skip down to lending. There's a gentleman called Matthew Garland. He's actually like a loan officer for a bank. And he does a lot of investment properties. One thing he went over is FHA 203K loans. This type of loan, in a synopsis, is a loan that you can get from a bank to buy a house as long as your credit is decent, and you have a down payment, usually like 3%. Or whatever the buying price of the house is. And for investors, like if you're looking to invest in something and you're buying a property, like let's say off of auction.com, which was another company that was representing there, and you need to do a little rehabilitation, you can actually get the rehabilitation fees in your loan. That way you don't have to come out of pocket and you can pay that back. The only thing with the FHA 203K is you have to have 1 year of occupancy. So the idea is, if you can, get a multifamily unit, depending on where you are. So up north they got 3, 4, 5, 6 family homes that you could purchase. Down south, you see a lot of duplexes and stuff like that. So if you are a first time home buyer, I encourage you to go out and buy a multifamily home. That way you can actually live in one portion of the home and then rent the other portion out, which will cover your mortgage. Okay, so you essentially will be living for free, which you essentially will be saving money that you can take and invest in something else. And then once that 1 year comes, right, the money that you saved, you can take that money and move out of that property, rent out the space that you were in, and then repurchase another property. And that's a good way to get started in the real estate. I'm gonna skip down. So there was a gentleman there that was an investor slash realtor in Charlotte, a really big realtor in Charlotte, and he gave out the top 5 zip codes to invest in Charlotte that had the most price increases in the last 12 months. The first zip code is 28211, and that had a 22% price increase in the last 12 months. The second zip code is 28205, that had a 23.8% price increase. The third is 28217. That was a 26.3% price increase in the last 12 months. The fourth is 28204, and that was 28.5% price increase in the last 12 months. And the fifth is 28208, and that was a whopping 70% price increase in the last 12 months. So those are, like I said, 5 zip codes in Charlotte Mecklenburg area that you should look into investing in. And a good way to actually look for properties, as I said earlier, was auction.com. We're not sponsored by them, but, just based off the real estate seminar that I was at, that's how they find a lot of their investment properties. And then the last thing that I'm going to tell you is that when you go to invest in your property, let's say you go out and you get a house that's specifically for investing, you want to open up an LLC specifically for that home. Each home that you acquire, you want to open a different LLC for it. And the reason being is just to cover your own butt, basically, like lawsuits and stuff like that. So your main house, let's say you in your main house, right? And for some reason, you can't maintain the other properties that you have. Each one has their own LLC. Think of the LLC as its own entity. So if the bank comes for the house, they can't take the house that your family's living in, because that has nothing to do, your social has nothing to do with that investment property. And the same goes for lawsuits. So, when you go and you buy a house, make sure you open up an LLC, and you can start building your credit with that by using a credit card that's up under the LLC to make repairs and such with the house. So those are just some tidbits. Like I said, I got more notes. I'm just not going to go through them all. If you would like to receive my notes, you can always hit us at millennialtempo@gmail.com. Inbox us, on Facebook at Millennial Tempo, or Matt the Motivator on Instagram, or you can inbox Jasmine at her.
I don't have no information to give.
Okay, she don't got no information, so hit me up.
Hit him up.
Matt the Motivator, Millennial Tempo on Facebook, or millennialtempo@gmail.com, and I'll shoot you these notes, man. Like I said, this is a real estate class that I paid for, and I drove out of town to go to, and I got some really good information from it, and I'm more than willing to shed a wealth. You know what I mean? I feel like the more that people from my same background is doing better, the better, because that builds up our community. So if I can shed a wealth, I'm going to do that, regardless. So that was my weekend. It was pretty cool. It was pretty fun. I got to kick it with a couple of my good friends, and Jasmine was here with the babies, holding it down while Big Daddy went and got some knowledge, you know what I mean, to come back.
Who is Big Daddy?
Oh, here we go.
Who is that?
You don't know?
No. Who is that?
Girl, stop it, man. Don't play with me.
I don't even know who that is.
Find somebody else to play with.
Yeah, but I have no idea what he's talking about. I definitely was sitting over here about just zoned out. I feel like crap. I didn't even get to tell y'all that I have a ear infection and I have a sinus infection, is what I found out at the doctor.
You got to clean them sugar babies out them ears.
So, yeah. It sounds like he definitely spent his money well. Sound like he definitely acquired some good information, but it's all a foreign language to me, so I cannot help you guys out. But I can definitely point you in the right direction if you guys need some more information. And I'm definitely going to hop on the bandwagon and try to learn as much as I can, because I definitely would like to make this a part of our life. I think I'm more interested. I'm probably going to be maybe just into the decorating and picking out the houses and let him do that type of work. But I'm definitely into picking out a house and flipping a house and all of that entails. I'm definitely interested in that.
Cool. Teamwork make the dream work.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So what we talking about today, baby? You know what I'm saying? That was our week.
Yeah, that was our week.
Yeah.
Very basic. Nothing major this week.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do a little hanging out tomorrow.
Turn up, though.
And that's about it. The kids have been good. Cannon has been doing great. I think he's getting ready to crawl. He'll be 8 months on the 9th of this month.
Yeah.
And I think he's about there. I think I really give him by the end of this weekend, he's going to be crawling. Like, I'm really putting him on the floor as much as I can, because I really would like for him to just start crawling, because I'm just so curious to see how he's going to follow up behind Cody. I'm so interested to
he's going to be all over Cody.
Yeah, I'm so ready.
Cody the only person that can make him laugh, so I know he's going to be on Cody's freaking shirt tail every chance he gets.
Yeah.
You know, Cannon is a very already he's very what's the word I can use to describe him? He is very
nonchalant.
Not even nonchalant.
He's just kind of just like, eh.
He's not impressed easily.
Yeah.
Let's say that. He's not entertained easily. You got to do a lot, especially if your name's not Cody Andrews, to entertain him. He's not gonna give you that smile that you're looking for just for the heck of it. You got to earn his smile. Mm-hmm. You got to earn it. Cody, he gonna give it to you. Yeah. Cody gonna entertain you because he likes that spotlight cannon, and now he's not going for it.
Yeah, I don't think he's not really an attention seeker as much as Cody is. Like Cannon just want to chill.
He chilling. He observative.
Business. Yeah, and
he
look
watching.
around.
Yeah, and he's not. You know how some people that you talking to, they be smiling and laugh. I'm one of them type of people. I ain't gonna lie. I laugh sometimes awkwardly when nothing is funny.
And it annoy y'all.
You know what I'm saying? I'm one of them type of people.
It annoys me.
I don't
so
know.
bad.
I don't know what it is. I'm one of them type of people. I laugh in situations where
you should not be laughing.
Nothing funny.
It's a serious situation.
Yeah.
I can call him, or we can be in the middle of an argument, and I could tell this man how he has hurt me. He makes me feel so bad, and he's gonna laugh, and I'm like, what's funny?
Yeah, it's I don't know.
It boils my blood.
Yeah, I can't be the only person that does that, but it's something that I does though. Like
that you does. Yeah,
it's something that I do. It's
annoying. It make you feel like it's like f what you talking about, like f what you talking like. It boils my blood.
But anyways, to Cannon is not that. He's not gonna give you that though. You know what I mean? He's not gonna laugh when nothing is funny.
Yeah.
At all. Period. He ain't gonna smirk. His face not gonna change. He's just gonna look at you like.
Maybe that's something you should like. Woody, let's since you brought it up, let's talk about that one.
What about it?
Like, why do you do that?
I don't know. It's just something I do. You know what I'm saying?
What is it like? When did you realize you did that? When I brought it to your attention, or you've always noticed that you do it?
Nah, I mean, I kind of always I noticed that I did it. I think the proper, and I could be wrong. I don't want to throw no term out there. Idiocracy is what I think it is. I could be very wrong though. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna look that up while we're talking, but I think that's a thing. So people do things sometimes just based off of like their own psyche, where they doing things and they don't realize that they're doing it. Like some people, when they talk, they scratch their nose or something like that. Just not their nose ain't even itching, but they scratch their joint. You know what I'm saying? People do stuff like that without even thinking about it, and it's a term. A big word, you know what I mean? That actually. No,
I mean, I don't care what the term is.
Idiocracy is a movie. That's not it. But anyways, it's a big term out there. My brother know the term. My brother got a really big vocabulary, and he told me what it was one time, and I was like,
because you was doing it to him?
No, because he has those type of tendencies too. But I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure I'm not the only one, but that's just what I do though. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I do that. I laugh in situations that's not funny, especially awkward ones. You know what I mean? Like,
like we could be in a big argument, like one of those ones that's to me is serious, and he'll start laughing, and it's like
now sometimes
in your face laughing.
Yeah, now
somebody could be talking and saying something, and you in my face laughing at me.
Yeah, now sometimes though I might just think it's funny.
No.
If we arguing and I'm sitting there in my mind pondering like, why the heck are we arguing right now? For real? But sometimes, not all the time.
I ain't talking about that time because I can understand when it's a dumb argument and you laughing off a situation. I can understand the difference.
Yeah.
I know the difference.
Yeah. I don't know. Something I do.
It's so annoying.
That's me. You know what I'm saying?
So annoying. It
is what it is. Like God made me. So
no, he didn't.
I'm gonna rock with it.
Don't put that on him.
What you mean?
He didn't do that to you.
Huh?
He didn't do that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It is something wrong with that. It comes across as if you don't care about the situation, or that somebody's how I feel at that moment is funny to you.
Well,
so no, it is.
See, at this point though, you know what I'm saying? Like you just gotta take that.
No,
you feel me?
You can be
at
conscious
6 years,
about
you know what I'm saying? 7 years and all.
No,
each
be
other.
conscious. Like okay,
I'm more conscious.
That's not funny.
Yeah, I'm more conscious about it. But you know, when something is just you can't change it.
Yes, you can.
Nah,
you can
I'm 30.
change things about yourself. What are you talking about right now?
It's me.
What are you talking about?
It's nothing negative.
It is negative when a person is talking to you and coming at you about something that they feel is not funny, and you laugh about it in their face.
Sometimes I might think it's funny.
And I just told you that I could tell the difference. That
if you can tell the difference on whether or not I think something is funny, then you should know that I'm doing something based off of just a personality trait that I have that is just something that I can't change. So it really shouldn't affect you like that, though.
You can probably change.
All right,
don't laugh.
Next subject. What are we talking about today other than that? Because it's nothing that's not a discussion piece. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not changing the way that my body is designed is not something that's up to debate for me. I'm gonna laugh in your face if I feel like it. I'm gonna laugh in anybody's face if I feel like it. And it's up to them to decipher however it is that they want to decipher it. You know what I'm saying? You know me at this point, so in awkward situations, when I have awkward situations, I might smirk. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't nothing I can do about it. But I do make a conscious effort to try to change it. But at the end of the day, if I do it, then I'm doing it. But at the same time, if I don't, I don't. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna say you can't hold it against me. But at the same time, like, what do you want me to do? It's who I am.
Yeah, that was definitely necessary.
What?
Everything you just said that was necessary.
Oh. Okay.
Like, this was I thought just a conversation.
It is a conversation.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. What are we talking about? What? Don't give me that look. What's wrong?
Nothing. You definitely killed the vibe just now.
How?
You just killed the whole vibe. It wasn't that serious.
It wasn't that serious.
But you made it. If I want to laugh in your face, then I'm just gonna do it.
Well,
that's just what it is. I don't care who you are.
All right, I don't want to have on podcast back and forth with you about my personality.
That's what the podcast is about.
Okay,
we talk about things and we communicate through them and we talk through them. We don't get
that's what I'm doing.
And throw jabs during the conversations. That's not what we're going to do.
I'm not trying to throw no jabs at you, though.
We're not going to do that.
I'm not trying to throw no jabs. All I'm doing is express. I'm not upset. All I'm doing is expressing to you my thoughts on you saying that I need to change my personality.
I said you can think about I said you can be conscious about it.
I am more conscious about it.
There's nothing I can change, and I'm saying you probably could. Your personality, things about your personality, you could change. Just because you're 30, because you've lived all this time.
I am more conscious of it, though. I said that at the beginning. I am more conscious.
And I never said anything after that.
Okay.
I just.
You right.
Commented back to you when you said I'm 30.
You right.
And ain't nothing about me gonna change.
Yeah, you right. You right.
Guys, yeah, I don't even feel good. Like, he really just went left with that. And y'all can tell me whether or not if I'm overreacting or what. But I really feel like he just took this all the way left about something that we just could have had a slight discussion about and moved on. Versus throwing the jabs and.
I don't think I threw a jab, but okay.
Very defensive.
All right, maybe a little defensive. I mean, but. That's what the discussion's about. You defend your thoughts. That's a discussion, I think. I don't know. But what are we talking about today, baby? You right. That's the catch-all, fellas. If y'all didn't know.
No.
Just say you right and drive on.
I wanted to talk about how after we got engaged, you pretty much deployed a couple months after that. So I kind of wanted to bring up your deployment. That's what I really wanted to use this episode to talk about. Different things about the deployment. How was it for you? Mm-hmm. Different things that you went through. And then I also can, give my take on how things were while you were deployed.
Okay. I like that. Um, Where do I start?
Just tell people where you were, how long you did, what did you do over there, the stuff that you can talk about.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I deployed out of Fort Stewart, Georgia, 2-7 Infantry, which is part of the 3rd Infantry Division. I was assigned to an infantry unit as a line medic, and we deployed to Afghanistan. When did we leave? September. Yeah, we left, mid-September, and deployed to Afghanistan in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. It was a squad of what we call regular army, so that includes myself in that, right? Regular army soldiers. So it was probably like 9-10 infantry guys, myself as the medic. We had a cook and a mechanic. And we were attached to a special forces team. So it's about 12 of those guys. And then we had, a couple local national Afghanistan people that lived on this little small base with us that used to help to cook, wash our clothes, take trash out, let the sewage truck in and, escort them around, just do little minuscule tours with us and stuff like that. But anyways, so I deployed to Afghanistan for 9 months. It was very interesting, to say the least. I went to war. It was a war. People were dying. People were, we were getting shot at all the time on dismounted patrols.
Yeah, I can remember when we would talk. We talked a lot. Like, it wasn't, because my dad is retired military, so I know all about deployments and all of that. So I can remember when my dad deployed, like, we heard from him every so often. Like when he called, it was a big deal because we didn't hear from him often.
Yeah.
And then once his last deployment, he deployed as a first sergeant. So he had a cell phone. So we was able to talk to him more often, but it still wasn't a whole lot. Yeah. So it was still like a big deal when he called. Yeah. But when you deployed, we talked literally all day, every day. I can only recall maybe about 2 times where when you were gone, where we didn't talk. Yeah. And I can recall when you would get off the phone and you would be like, "Oh yeah, we about to have a firefight. I'll talk to you later." And I never even knew what that meant. I never knew what it meant. You just kept it like that. And then when we would get back on the phone, you never would tell me, like what your night was, like what you did. Yeah. I never knew. Like, I have no idea really what you did over there, except for a couple times when I've overheard you talking to like my dad or somebody about some stuff. But you've never had a conversation with me about exactly what you would do when you were deployed.
Yeah. Well, our primary goal over there was to actually train like the local police over there. So, we used to give them classes. We used to bring, local nationals onto our base. We had a range there. We'd show them how to shoot their AK-47s. I would give them medical courses, of course, with a translator because they didn't speak English. So I would be talking in English and showing them all the different devices that we had to use to control hemorrhage, bleeding airway, and all of this stuff. And the interpreter would be interpreting what I'm saying. We teach them basic military tactics, movements, and then we hold a graduation for them. And then we would put them out at a checkpoint. And they're supposed to patrol their community, to basically fend off the Taliban, you know what I'm saying? So, and we would pay them for that. They'd come to our base like once a month and get their pay to actually support their own communities. And periodically, we had about 7 or 8 checkpoints that we were kind of responsible for. And periodically we would go to these checkpoints, stay the night sometimes. Sometimes we would just go and come back. But what we'd do is we'd go and we'd do patrols, because what was happening was they was coming, learning, leaving, and then not doing their patrols. So our bomb squad element, whenever we do patrols, would always constantly be pulling bombs up out of the ground. So we'll go. They say they've been patrolling the neighborhood like clockwork, but it's new bombs planted everywhere. So that was part of life, you know what I mean? Watching our EOD element pull up bombs, and then at the same time taking small arms fire from randoms, you know what I'm saying? Getting into that, which we call firefights, or ticks, you know what I'm saying? Troops in contact. A lot of that. So a lot of dismounted patrols, EOD element pulling up bombs, and a lot of firefights is what we. And then of course training the local police, and then a lot of gym. Went to the gym a lot. That was a big part of my life whenever I wasn't on patrols
How much weight did you lose while you was over there?
Like 60 pounds. I came back with almost an 8-pack. You know what I'm saying? Real focus over there. I lost like 60 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Just real focused and consistent for 9 months with no distractions. Limited alcohol. I had probably 2 days where I actually drank something over there. So it was just real focus and just a lot of consistency and stuff. But that was a general synopsis. I shot all kind of weapons over there. You know what I'm saying? From the 50 cal, minigun, AK-47s, the SCARs, the regular standard issue M16s, the M9s, Glocks. You know what I mean? Definitely a professional at arms. That's my job. And then, of course, my trade is a medic. So I have a lot of medical skills, especially when it comes to trauma. That's a big aspect of my life is trauma management. Seeing a lot of patients over there, a lot of gunshot wounds to the face, chest, a lot of IED blasts because they used to like to pull the IEDs up out the ground because we used to pay them for them at one point until they just started building IEDs, which IEDs are improvised explosive devices. So they just started building them and then bringing them to us to get the payout. So we stopped paying for them. But somebody was actually trying to do the right thing one time, and then they pulled the joint up out the ground. There's like 11 of them. So the IED exploded on all 11, and then they all came to my little base, and it's me and the special forces medic and then the infantry guys trying to like handle this mass cow. You know what I'm saying? So that went okay. Didn't go that well, but there's a few lives lost. No Americans, no local nationals, all. But you know what I'm saying? We did the most good that we could for the most in that particular situation. Couple mass cows that I dealt with over there. Mass cow, it could be 2-3 patients, but the majority of mine was like 10 patients. You know what I'm saying? It was a good time. Dangerous. I learned a lot, you know what I'm saying? A lot of heartache came from that. We lost a couple people while we was over there. I definitely matured a lot while I was over there. Seen a lot, learned a lot, like I said. Solidified my job in the Army as a medic for sure. Because I got to do a lot of medical treatment over there outside of, anything that I can do over here in my scope of practice. We talking chest tubes. We talking crikes. We talking pushing all kind of pain medicine over there. Just, dealing with all kind of gunshot wounds, hemorrhage controls, blast wounds, dressings, anything you pretty much can think of that's trauma related, I pretty much have my hands on.
Ain't no way.
So, combat medic. You know what I'm saying?
It take a different type of person to deal with that, but not me.
Yeah.
Not me.
1%. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
1%.
Yeah, sounds scary. But
shout out to my boys too, man. The majority of the people I deploy with that got out the Army, but shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? If they listen, shout out to y'all, man. I still love y'all boys. We gotta do a reunion one day. You know what I mean? Because that type of bond you can't get with nobody else.
Yeah, I bet.
You know what I'm saying? The only thing that go close to that probably is like, I don't know, real kinetic street gang members who really about that life, who get in shootouts all the time. But even then, they ain't walking each other's footprints to avoid bombs. Yeah.
Couldn't imagine. Could not imagine. I thought about, I guess I can talk about a little bit of my experience. While he was deployed, I was in grad school. I was in my last year of grad school, so I was really busy. I was working for Hertz, the rental car company. So I worked there, and then I ended up getting an internship working at DeKalb County Probation Office. It was a paid internship. So I was busy. It was easy for me to get through his deployment because I was so busy and I was planning the wedding. So I would go to Hertz, go to class, and then I would go once I started working for the probation office. I would go to the probation office and work like 40 hours a week. Then I would go to class after I would leave the probation office. And then on Fridays and Saturdays, I would go and work at Hertz. I was working 2 jobs and in grad school and was planning a wedding. So it was easy for me to get through that deployment. Wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Partied a little bit, hung out, did typical Atlanta stuff, typical college stuff, and just tried to graduate and get my master's degree.
Yeah.
Yep. So
my baby got a Mac. I got a smart girl.
I want to bring up.
Oh, before we move forward though, I also want to shout out just publicly anybody who sent me a care package while I was over there, man. I really appreciate it. You know what I mean? Like that type of stuff. Like if y'all got soldiers in y'all lives, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, if they in basic training, if they deploy, yo, send them boys something, man. Send them boys or them girls something, because like that little stuff from home, like even if you don't know them like that, like I got care packages from people who I didn't think, I had any impact on in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, our relationship might have not been very extensive. I got care packages from people who I had, not a whole lot of interaction with, that I was surprised, and that don't mean so much to me. Like, I never forget the people. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all got, soldiers, airmen, Marines, sailors in y'all lives that's away abroad, yo, send them boys something. It don't even matter if it's like some peanuts. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of joint, like that type of love, like is unmatched. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just something to look forward to. Like when y'all get mail and you see like, somebody that sent you something, you know what I'm saying? It's something serious. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a different feeling. So shout out to y'all. I really appreciate y'all.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I kept them packages up coming.
You did.
I kept them coming.
Yeah, you was hooking me up for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, you was hooking me up. Valentine's Day, send me rose petals and joint. I had my whole bed laced up with rose petals. I got a picture on social media somewhere. I'm almost certain of my room and the rose petals on my little bed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I tried.
A little bit of home. Yeah.
You're right. I think I sent you most holidays. I think I had you something.
Yeah. You kept me strapped up
in there, but yeah, we definitely deployment was, and just like we said, like we got together, dated for only a few months, got engaged, and then boom, he gone for 9 months.
Gone for 9 of the months.
So that definitely tested our relationship.
For sure.
But I think because I was so busy, I had been there, done that. It just was no big deal. But let me tell you, let's talk about a time while you were deployed when our relationship was really tested.
What you mean? Oh, you talking about Jay's, man?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, so
no,
all right.
I'm gonna do the segue. I'm gonna bring it up. Okay, y'all. So, joining you is all brand new sneakerhead Matthew Andrews. This is the brand new sneakerhead. He had just found who he was and wanted to be sneakerhead 101. So all right, cool. I'll support you. So all his shoes and stuff, if he wanted them, I was getting them for him, ordering them, or he was ordering them, sending them to my house, and I kept them on ice for him.
For sure.
I did that.
Now, this was in 2012, 2013. So
this was 2013.
Yeah. So now granted, the temperature of the sneaker game done changed, but back then, you used to have to go wait in line for your stuff.
Yeah. So he had asked me, he said, hey, it was some 13, some black.
It was the bread 13.
Okay. Yeah. Those were coming out. And he had 13s. Asked me to go get him the shoes, and he said he would pay for me to have them as well.
Yeah, double up, shorty.
Yeah, so that was the game plan.
Baby, his and her.
Well, I was supposed to get up early that morning to go get the shoes.
Yeah.
But what happened was.
What happened?
My little cousin was shot that night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I had went out that night. Me and my homegirl had went to the club. We out. I get a phone call. I'm asleep. I had my alarm set, ready to go. I get a phone call from my I think it was my cousin's sister.
Uh-huh.
And she's crying, screaming and hollering, saying my cousin was just shot.
Yeah.
So from that point, I'm up. I'm screaming and hollering. I'm crying.
Yeah.
So I finally, I guess, maybe went to sleep later on or whatever the case is, and I overslept. So I don't think I woke up until maybe like 8, 9 o'clock that morning. It was still early, but it was like 8, 9 o'clock that morning.
Yeah.
So I go up to the mall, and I missed the shoes.
Yeah. And
I didn't get the shoes. I had missed out. I had overslept, missed them. Well, me and my line sister had came and picked me up. This girl drove me to every mall in the surrounding area of Atlanta. Literally drove me around, going to go try to find these shoes for this man.
Yeah.
So we driving. Well, I ended up stumbling up on a pair for myself.
Yeah.
So mind you, he told me he could buy me the shoes, so I bought them. I bought them for myself. Still struggling trying to find him the shoes.
Yeah.
The night goes on, he don't have the shoes.
They ain't got them.
So he upset. He doesn't.
I'm spicy.
He doesn't really come off to me as being that upset. I'm telling him, I'm sorry, I overslept, my bad.
Yeah.
I was real apologetic. I felt really bad about it.
Uh-huh.
But he didn't come off to me as if he was so mad.
Right, yeah.
So the next day, I don't know. I had his password for Facebook forever. Never had looked through his Facebook. Never. Because that's just have never been me, the type to really go snoop.
Yeah.
So.
Oldest had us sprung. Ain't that what Martin said?
What?
So she was all in my doggone Joan. I'm in Afghanistan.
Yeah. So I just so happened. Like I said, I had never really been in his stuff.
Let me go plunge through my bad stuff while I get Afghanistan.
I opened up his instant messages,
and I'm on there talking trash to my homeboy.
This man calling me all type of stupid bitches.
Hey, all type of bleeps.
This stupid bitches. We not bleeping that. You weren't bleeping it when you was talking about me.
You right.
I
was upset, y'all.
He was calling me, and this stupid bitch had the nerve to go buy the J's for herself.
Oh, man. Shout out.
And mind you, I sent her the money to go get me these shoes. Mind you, my cousin was just shot.
Now, granted, hold on.
Granted what?
And I might have not, you know what I'm saying, really, at the time, I wasn't processing the magnitude of with the information that you was giving me. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to make no excuses. And I apologize for it. And I'm apologizing again. You know what I'm saying? Because that was real dumb of me. And I don't want to make no excuses for myself. But I just was very angry. Like, I really just
about some tennis shoes.
I couldn't process. But it was like,
this
it
brand new sneakerhead.
Yeah.
The man, when I met him,
but it was just a situation of satisfaction.
He owned one pair of raggedy shoes.
Nah, it wasn't
raggedy
one pair.
J's.
Nah.
I'm talking about them J's. That man's shoe game was boo-boo. Garbage.
It wasn't that great. It ain't in the magnitude magnificent go as where it is now.
Yeah, it's fine
but
now.
You know what I'm saying? It definitely was limited.
No business.
Yeah, it was limited. But at the same time,
crazy about no shoes.
I think it was a culmination of things though. You know what I'm saying? I think it was a culmination of my environment, what I was seeing every day, the type of things that I got satisfaction from, which at the time one of them things was just getting the new Jordans. When the new Jordans came out, I was like, I want them joints. You know what I'm saying? So when I was expecting them and I was like, okay, cool, she gonna be able to get them joints, and then only thing I heard was I overslept, but I got them for myself. Like, that kind of sent me off on the deep end.
I'm talking to him all throughout the day.
Now, I don't know if we was necessarily communicating.
Yes, we
that
were.
much.
I'm telling you.
Okay,
so
we
I'm
might
telling
have.
you we
know
were communicating throughout the day. I'm telling you that I'm like hey, I'm stopping here, I'm stopping there, and when I got them shoes, that was probably like the last stop. It wasn't that I had copped them at the initial store.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that.
Shoes. Yes, you did, because I just told you that you and I was speaking throughout the entire day about the whole situation.
Oh, okay, you right.
And me keeping you on, in the loop of what was going on. About this whole situation.
Yeah.
So you knew I didn't buy them shoes for myself to the very end. I just so happened to stumble up on them like, oh, y'all got my size? Bet. He sent me the money for mine too.
Well, yeah.
I'm going to grab mine.
Yeah, like I said, though, man, just, very just, I don't know, going through a lot of things emotionally. You feel me? Yeah, going through a lot of things emotionally. So I was just extremely upset about that. More upset than I would get today. You know what I'm saying? If I missed out on the pair of shoes, like.
Well, yeah, of course.
Whatever. You know what I'm saying?
And that was the point of me bringing that up was just, mature. Definitely, you. Well, obviously, you know better than to do some crap like that ever again. Anyways.
Well.
To call me that about some tennis shoes.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? In hindsight, you know what I'm saying? Even at the time, like even if I wasn't, I don't even think if I wasn't in that environment that I was in, I wouldn't have got as upset. But I think the environment that I was in played a big part on my reaction, though. You know what I'm saying? I think it really played a big part because I'm not the type of person. I don't have that type of personality where I'm just an upset type person, though. A lot of stuff I can kind of just get over. That's just me. Like I'm not a enraged type person, or have a bad disposition about myself, really ever. And like I think that was just a part of the environment that I was in that made me that upset. Like,
and his homeboy ain't tell him like, dog, you tripping. One time.
He didn't. Well, hell, he was in the same environment. He was deployed too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He wasn't doing what I was doing. He a medic, but he wasn't doing what I was doing. But
I'm talking about he talked bad about me, and I think I cussed you a whole.
You probably
I ain't no problem. Oh man, I went nuts. I remember that vividly. Yeah. I went nuts on you. I called you all type of fake sneakerheads. Nigga, you ain't even about that life. You don't even wear J's. Yeah. You just start wearing them. I been about that life.
Yeah.
I had to talk I talk trash. I'm talking about talk trash. But my feelings was hurt. Especially because I knew that I had gone all out my way.
You did due diligence.
Yeah, I went all out my way.
I didn't care about that due diligence at the time. I was just upset that I felt like you ain't do due diligence and you had the shoes and I didn't, and I was really looking forward to them. Now, in hindsight, I got the Jordans. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. I still was on the hunt for them shoes.
I got the shoe. They in my closet right now.
I still went all out my way.
You know what I'm saying? When I came home, they was there for me.
This girl that I went to school with, she worked at a shoe store. And she was at Lennox Mall. And she had made a post. She was like, somebody just returned some shoes, or we just got an extra shipment. It was something. It was a store at Lennox Mall. Yeah. And I was like, keep them shoes. I'm on my way. I literally pulled up at that mall at like 8:50 at night and got them shoes for him right then and there.
Yeah, cop them guys. Yeah, I got them
right then and there for him.
Upstairs right now. The bread 13s on deck.
Yeah, but it definitely. I think at that moment, I really was like, I don't know if I like him. Like, is this what I want? Somebody who talking crazy to me about some shoes? Like, that ain't cool. And mind you, this was still early. This all I knew of you.
Yeah.
This is the type of person who will
call technically, you it wasn't talking crazy to you.
Well, no, he wasn't talking
I was having a conversation
with
somebody else.
Yeah, but about me.
You just so happened to be plugged through the stuff.
Yeah.
But the old saying, you look for something,
you find it. You sure do. And I definitely found it. And I'm glad that I found it because I think you needed to know that ain't cool.
Yeah, it wasn't cool. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't cool. You know what I mean? Life is a learning process, though. And like I said, that's not my normal character. But I really do think, though, that the environment that I was in kind of enraged me a little bit.
Yeah.
It had me upset about petty stuff, especially talking about some sneakers, man. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it ain't no big deal. Jordan ain't putting no money in my pocket.
Yeah, so, definitely.
Yeah. But, yo, it's we at 54 minutes. You know what I mean? We can wrap it up.
Yeah. Okay.
Good?
Yeah. All right, y'all. Y'all got all our social medias. Hit us up.
Yeah, holla at us, man. You know what I'm saying? Always don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on our content. I had
something else that I wanted to talk about, but we will bring that up next week, guys. All right, y'all. It's your girl Jasmine.
And your boy Matt.
And we are the
Millennial Tempo.